beautiful morning from the rainy state of North Carolina. We got a tournament this morning on Lake James for the Queen City and for the foothills. And I'm going to tell you what, if the weather doesn't improve, I ain't even taking my boat off the truck because it is thundering and lightning here. So let's head on down the road and see what happens. We made it to the ramp. The weather hasn't moved in here yet. I kind of outrun it coming down the interstate. I'm waiting on my buddy to get here, but that weather's coming, and I got a feeling we are going to get rocked here in a little bit. So there's a couple other guys getting ready and putting in. I think I'm going to hold off for a little bit and see what the first band of weather does before I unload all my stuff and get out on that lake. So, you know, thunder and lightning just ain't worth it to me. So let's hang out and see what it does. Well, guys, let's get after it.
No sacrifice, no victory.
So after watching the weather radar, we waited about 30 minutes and decided we was going to go ahead and launch our boats. There was still another band of weather that was scheduled to move in, but the thunder and lightning had stopped, so we decided to go ahead and start fishing. Once the rain let up, bed fishing was the way to go. And I was hitting them with a 1-2 combination. If they didn't want a Ned bait, I threw in a little 4-inch kayak. One of the two usually produced a fish. This was my first keeper fish of the tournament. It was only about 13 inches, but it felt great to get a keeper in the boat. So let me go ahead and tell you the difference in the two tournaments I'm fishing today. The foothill guys have a 3-fish limit with a 10-inch minimum. And the QC guys, they have a 4-fish limit with a 12-inch minimum. I was definitely onto something with the cruising fish and the bed fish. And here, we got our second scoreable fish of the day. Two. Alright, we got two. And just like that, the very next bed I come to, I hooked the third scoreable fish, which means I have a limit in the foothills. Now, it's not an impressive limit, but it is a limit and it's something to work on. Now, QC is unique in the fact that they allow a side pot for a small fish. Now, this is the size I was looking for that side pot, but it was the wrong species. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I really enjoy fishing the small fish side pot. If there's enough people that sign up, the fish can pay for your whole trip. Heck, in 2020, I made, I don't know, $500-600 just on small fish alone. And you get a plaque to go with it. So, you know, you're already going to be fishing. Might as well go after it. I can't forget to mention that all my fish weren't just bed fish. There was a lot of cruisers up behind the docks and going down the banks, and they could not resist that kayak on an underspin. Unfortunately, a lot of them just swiped at it and wouldn't never commit to it. There's another. And just like that, we have a limit for both tournaments. Now we gotta do is work on upgrading. Very big, but that's a limit for the day. Well, at least in one of the tournaments. This fish here is going to be the perfect example of if they didn't want one thing, they wanted something else. This fish just did not want the kayak that I was throwing on her bed, but she did want the Biz Baits Ned Dizzy, and almost as soon as it come across the bed, she grabbed a hold of it. Oh no, oh, that's a tank smallmouth. I'll take that one. I have to say, I have a real love-hate relationship with Lake James. I never really do that great here, but today was an awesome fishing day for me. That's cool. This fish here turned out to be one of those funny situations where I set the hook on the fish, but I don't think that I have the fish hooked. Evidently he ran towards me. I was messing with my fishing pole and then started reeling it in and realized that he was actually hooked. He was way too small to score, but I just thought it was a funny situation. I'm telling you guys, it was a banner day for me on Lake James. I caught almost 15 fish and upgraded several times. I just didn't quite find the bigs to move me up the leaderboard. Got him. Oh, that's a good one. Oh. Yeah, with me, it was bound to happen. Lose the nicest fish of the day. Even though I was catching fish, towards the end of the day, I just wasn't upgrading anything. And besides, my buddy called me and needed help. His drive went out on his boat. So let's go get him and tow him back to the ramp. But before we help him back to the ramp, let's catch one more fish right beside him. There we go. I knew he was sitting there. I gotta have bigger than 14 now. Well, let's get the tow rope out and hook my boy up. You know, Huggy Bear to the rescue. We were about 2 miles from the boat ramp, and we picked the absolute worst time of day to try to pull him back. Because as soon as we headed back, the wind picked up, and it was rough. My legs are on fire. Despite the bad weather and the high winds, and even having to help my buddy get back to the ramp, it was still a pretty good day. I ended up 16th in QC and 25th in foothills. Well, we're back at the marina safe and sound, so I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. I appreciate you guys so much for watching, and hit that subscribe button to keep up with all the adventures and all the fishing tournaments. And a special thank you to my sponsors for this year.